friends, today we are back at my LA apartment, and if you've been watching my vlogs and you're like, what the heck, Megan, you're staying at Lindsay's right now because your apartment doesn't have AC, but you came back to your apartment to film? What are you doing? What are you doing there? Probably none of you are actually thinking that, but I don't know, just a disclaimer, I came back here because Larry was being a bit rambunctious and I didn't want him ruining this video, but then I got bit in the ass with karma for leaving my dog because now my neighbor's dog is just causing as much as a ruckus as Larry would have. So I guess the lesson I learned is stay with your dog, he loves you. Yes. Okay, that was a completely different tangent than what this video is going to be about. Today I'm doing a story time, and I just love story time videos. I think they're so fun to film, and I literally love telling stories in real life. Like, any of my friends will tell you that my stories are just like over detailed and they just have so much jam-packed in them. It's like you're there, you know? So that's why I like to make story time videos, because everybody just likes a nice story, you know? So today the story is about the time that I got suspended in 6th grade. I think I was 11, and it's because I threatened to kill one of my friends. And I know what you're thinking, what? Are you insane? Are you a little insane? And I'm just gonna go ahead and say no, but middle school me was a bit angsty, very angry, I would say. I wasn't always as positive and happy as I am today back then. For instance, my best friend Gina now thought I hated her in middle school. So I guess I was just like an angry gal, you know? But that is no excuse for what I did. But honestly, like looking back, it's a funny situation. That's why I'm doing the story time, because this was literally my friend. But I guess my sarcasm wasn't really showing through when I threatened to kill her. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell this story now and stop just like giving you little details. So let's set the scene. Your girl was 11, like I said, and I was in middle school. I was in 6th grade, and I remember we had like these connections classes, so kind of like your computer class, or you would have PE as one of your connections, or any of those various activities, you know, that aren't in the normal school curriculum. So me and this girl, we had computer class together. So we were like typing away, doing our little games, you know, those typing games that you would always do. Holy fuck, what were they called? I don't know. If you know, leave me a comment down below of like some computer typing game you used to play. I don't know why this is important, it just is. And for the sake of her privacy, let's call this girl Kate. All right, so me and Kate were just minding our own business, just doing our own thing, and somehow we got into the topic of something that just like irked me, or maybe I just like was being fake mad at her, but I was like pretending to be mad at her for some reason. It was like 8 years ago, so forgive me for not remembering what the heck I was mad about. I don't even think I was mad. Anyways, we had these binders, right, with like notebook paper in the back. I opened up my binder and I literally drew like a stick figure setting of me and Kate. And I literally labeled them arrow me, arrow Kate. I'll insert a photo here of like kind of what I drew. I like drew a photo of me shooting her, and I don't know why I did that. And I just like slyly turned it around and showed it to her and just like was giggling like a little demonic kid. But like looking back on it, I wasn't actually gonna kill her. I was never actually gonna do that. I was 11. Like what the fuck was I gonna do, you know? And I was like laughing as I did it, but I don't think I said, oh, just kidding, you know? So she was freaked out. So she went home and told her mom that I was going to kill her. This story is literally absurd. Like I can't believe this happened. Okay. So then probably 2 weeks go by, and then I'm sitting in Spanish class and my counselor comes in and is like, Megan, I need you. And I'm like excused from class, and I was like, oh, I don't know what this is about, but like, hey, how's it going? My counselor's name was Miss Martinez. So me and Miss Martinez were like being all sassy walking down the halls. I was like, yes, I get to skip class. Like, what is this about? And then she takes me to my locker and she's like, can you get your connections binder, please? And I was just like, oh, maybe they're just like switching my connections. Like maybe one is too overcrowded, you know, they're changing my schedule. So I was like, yeah, sure, and just like got it. And then she takes me to the vice principal's office. And that's when it kind of like started getting a little unsettling. There was a vibe in the air, if you will, that like I did something wrong. And the vice principal just takes my binder from me and immediately flips back to my notebook pages and rips out the photo, like the stick figure drawing I had made, and shows it to me and is like, what's this, Megan? And that's when it clicked, and I was like, oh, that's why I'm in here. Oh, and I was trying to like reason with her, like, no, Kate's my friend. I wasn't meaning any harm to her. I wasn't actually gonna kill her, you know? And trust me, a middle school is going to take a death threat as a very serious thing. So they thought that like I needed counseling. They were like, are you okay? Literally, are you all right? And I was like, ma'am, I'm fine. I was kidding around. She like pissed me off, I guess. And I just like made a joke drawing and was like, haha, Kate, you know? But then she literally was just like ragging on me, treating it as a very big deal, you know, because it was. As I'm looking back on it, I'm like, you know, if I didn't know this child and she threatened to kill somebody, some other student in the school, and the mom had gone to the vice principal and been like, is my child okay? Of course they would take it seriously. So like, I don't blame them for getting me in trouble, you know? But Kate, if you're watching this, I was never gonna kill you, girlfriend. What would my little hands have done back then? Let's be honest, I didn't have a gun. My dad doesn't have a gun. My mom doesn't have a gun. Where would I get a gun? But anyways, picture me in the vice principal's office right now. So she was just ragging on me, like telling me that it's really not okay, that I'm gonna need to be suspended for a day. And I just broke down crying because I was like, I can't be suspended. Like that's gonna go on my permanent record. Like you don't understand. I remember thoroughly looking at her and being like, I wanna go to UGA, like with my brother. My brother and I both didn't go to UGA. Like this is when I used to live in Georgia, by the way. So like that was like the big university, probably the only one that I knew at the time what it was. And I was like, this is really gonna hurt me getting into UGA in a couple years. And like, Miss In, like you can't do this to me. Her name was Miss In, the vice principal. And she was just like, punishment is punishment, like you're gonna be suspended. But back then we had OSS, which was out of school suspension, and then ISS, which was in school suspension. So I got ISS for a day. So basically what that is you go into this room and it's literally in cubicles. All of the kids are in cubicles. You're not allowed to sleep. You're only allowed to do your work for your classes that day and read. But basically you have no entertainment other than work. And it was a very shameful experience, I remember, because not only does your counselor have to go to all of your teachers and be like, so Megan's gonna be in ISS today. Give me her work so I can bring it to her in the dungeon that she's in right now. So my counselor, Miss Martinez, rounded up all my work and then brought it to me, and I just like did all my stuff in there, did all my tests in there, that whole kind of a thing. And ISS kids get one trip to the lunchroom a day, and it's when no other kids are there. So you have like all of you guys just lined up and he's like, go get your food, go get your food. Now that I think about it, this is the closest I've ever been to prison. Okay, yes. And I also remember that we were only allowed bathroom trips as a group together, and you were only allowed to go twice a day. So once in the beginning and once at the end, like kind of after lunch. And I just think that's pretty absurd. Like I was a girl, you know, what if I had my period back then? What if I had some kind of emergency? Anywho's, I'm making it out to be a lot worse than it was. It was obviously tolerable. I'm still alive and it wasn't actually prison. So I did make a friend in there. That's the moral of this story, is you always make a friend on the way. His name was Mr. Ward. He was about 6'5", or maybe a lot above, but I was very small back then. But I just remember he was this huge black man. He was insanely tall. I didn't shave my armpits, can you tell? But I just really took a liking to him. He was the mediator of ISS, and literally every single day that I saw him in the hallway from that point on, I just remember being like, hey, Mr. Ward, and he would high five me. So I was just like, this is great. You know, I left with a friend, and I left with a story to tell, and I left with an experience that's just hilarious. Oh my gosh, I forgot the best part. At the end of the day in ISS, when everybody's going to their buses, the ISS kids have to stand in front of everybody on this brick wall. So everybody's just passing by you being like, oh, those are the ISS kids. And you have to be the last ones to get on the bus. Like that is your punishment. Like you gotta hang your head in front of all of your classmates being like, yeah, yeah. And there were always those kids who were like constantly in ISS. They were just posted on that wall multiple days of school. But I felt very shameful for being on that wall that one day. And I remember like lying to my mom about what actually happened and telling her some absurd story when like this is actually what happened. So yeah, Mom, I don't know if I ever told you this exact story. So now if you're watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it. And even if you're not my mom, I hope you enjoyed this video as well. So if you did, give this video a big thumbs up for me. Subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in my next one. Okay, stay smiling. Bye. Don't threaten to kill anybody, okay? It's not fun.